No, it's not Jeopardy, so it's okay. Just a
Okay.
vote.
We do have community comments, so
We do?
we do. We have three. Mr. Coles, would you like to read the statement?
This is an opportunity for the community to address the board for any closed session items. Please submit your comments to the board president by completing a request to address the board card prior to the meeting and turning it in to the assistant to the superintendent. The president will recognize those who desire to speak prior to the closed session. Each speaker is allocated a maximum of 3 minutes. The president may choose to limit each topic to 10, no more than 20 minutes, if substantial numbers of people wish to address the board on one topic. Testimony should be brief and to the point. Speakers should not repeat testimony already presented. If the topic would be more suitable addressed at a later time, the president may indicate the time and place when it should be presented. Board action may not legally be taken on any item not specifically listed on the agenda. The board may ask that such items be placed on the next agenda for consideration. Testimony is not protected from damage, claims, or slander. For slander, public charges or allegations may result in legal action being brought by those individuals. The board values constructive community comments and suggestions. It welcomes your participation in the democratic process.
Thank you. Our first speaker, Christopher Tatarian. Tatarian. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Dear board members, well, I guess that's not what we can. Dear board members, I'm a graduate of Silverado High and attended Cobalt Middle School, and I'm excited to work in my former district teaching something I'm passionate about. I love my students, and their parents have been great to me. My students are learning and are successful. Additionally, I participate in activities and extracurricular events at Sims. This district is my home, and I deeply care about the students, families, and community. I've received great evaluations and observations. When my administrator gives me direction on things to do or add to enhance to my teaching, I work to incorporate it to improve my teaching. Amanda Ballard and Ms. Miles can vouch for that as well. I work well with my colleagues and feel part of the district family. I've taken direction and coaching to heart and try to constantly improve. In addition, as a STIP, PIP, I'm working on completing the coursework for my credential, which takes a tremendous amount of time as well, and have maintained a 4.0 GPA. Until January 13th, I did not have a mentor teacher to help me. But since I got Ms. Miles, she's been working with me and providing support. I'm so thankful that I finally have someone to help me because it's been very difficult trying to balance everything. I was very surprised when I was given notification of being non-reelected on Friday. This is just 2 weeks after getting any support. I'm confused because my evaluation and observations have been great. I've done everything that has been asked of me to improve. I'm asking the district and board to reconsider non-reelecting me in my first year. I'm committed to my students and teaching. I know I've helped our students and will continue to work towards being a better teacher. A few weeks ago, Superintendent Coles, Mr. Barrios, and Mr. Crosby observed my class along, had great things to say about my teaching and presence in my classroom. Please allow me the opportunity to work in this district with our students and continue to help them love science the way that I do. I appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, what are you teaching?
I teach 10th grade chemistry and 7th grade life science.
Teach chemistry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do I sit down? I was expecting. Okay.
Oh, yeah, should put up a
Sorry.
sign at the end.
No, that's okay.
I wasn't supposed to ask you, but
not at all. I was
I
waiting.
did anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Amanda Ballard.
Good evening, board and Superintendent Coles, Ramoni, Shantae. I'm tonight, but not. I was thinking about reading you guys the letter that I had written on behalf of both Chris Tatarian and Justin LaFerriere. Talking, you guys, I ever the board that might support some of you since I am pretty active in the union. I'm the treasurer. But I will only stand here if I feel strongly about things. Both these two gentlemen have done everything in their power to become better teachers. To start with a possible teacher shortage, well, we have had a teacher shortage in the state of Connecticut. As an educator, I've been teaching for 17 years, that I have seen is a person who is willing to work, willing to listen to constructive criticism, and take that criticism and make something great out of it. Both of these men have done that. I know this not only as a teacher at Sims, but also as a parent. Both of them have been, Glenn is current Chris's class. She's a 7th grader. Addison was in Justin's class last year. I was teaching an English class. She could have been in my class. I chose because he was willing to try new and creative activities, willing to not have any kind of ego. He gives feedback, and he always changes and always alters his lessons when he sees that something's not working. And I think that that's what we look for for good teachers. That's what, if someone to change what they're doing, to grow year after year. So I'm here today, not because I'm best friends with either of them. I like them both. At Sims, we're a family. I'm here today because I feel that both of them are teachers. They're both developing as educators, and they both deserve more than they've gotten this year. So I wrote you both a letter, all of you a letter. You have it. You like to have them. I free to also for everybody to reconsider what it takes to become reelected in this state. Because with teachers who are willing to make changes and willing what's best for students, and most patients I've ever seen in almost any educator that I have met in 17 years, I feel like those types of people deserve more of a chance and more of an opportunity to prove their worth. That's it.
Tracy Miles?
So I was telling the folks here that I can speak in front of 500 plus students and not get nervous. Unlike Amanda, I do have something that I'm going to refer to. Hired just over a year ago. I was immediately contacted by Annie Mund, who was the new teacher mentor for the district. And some of you might remember Annie.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
She walked me through everything from how to set up a classroom to finding a place to live, because I was recruited from North Dakota and I didn't know it at all. She was in my classroom at least once a week that first semester, checking on me, and more importantly, giving me different strategies to become a successful teacher. I don't know how I would have made that year without that support. Because of Miss Mund, I accepted the position of teacher support liaison. And teachers give the same support that I experienced. At the 21-22 school year, I was asked by the district to mentor Mr. LaFerrier. She had been teaching at Options for Youth prior to coming to Sims. Teaching groups and one-on-one is much different than teaching a class. Every suggestion that was given to us was implemented. Just was not given a message. But I stayed in contact with him periodically. He has been open to all suggestions for improvement, grown as a teacher. He strives to find new teaching strategies to learn to make it meaningful for his students. Chris Tartarian is a new teacher with no experience that I am remembering. He wasn't given support in the because the teacher support program didn't begin until June 17th, 2 weeks into the semester. Chris has a degree in chemistry and is working on his credential. In the 3 weeks that we have been working together, we have met 4 times. And each time we have met questions and his questions. As a new teacher, there are things he doesn't know to ask and questions he doesn't realize he can ask. I'm impressed with his work into profession. Mr. Tatar's observation with me and hopes to improve in the areas he's in, which you all have a copy of. After reviewing the observations, I'm very impressed with the comments and received. I was very impressed by the good classroom management how he enjoys attending extracurricular events, and I was extremely shocked to learn that he's being let go. Both of these teachers love teaching, interacting with students, and learn from the teachers in their department. But both need and deserve support that the district provides. I hope you will reverse the decision to non-reelect these teachers and allow them to teach in our.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. And Justin, help me with your last name, please. LaFerrier. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. To board members of Victor Valley High School. I'm here today to present to you why I belong at Cobalt Institute of Math and Science for 10 years to come as a tenured teacher. This is my 18th year. I thoroughly enjoy teaching my 7th and 8th grade outdoor education and 9th and 10th grade English classes. It's been very hard with my colleagues, both in and out of my department, classroom. I have training that is recommended, as well as additional that I thought would be beneficial to my students. I have participated and learned essential tool tell Jones already. I'm going to have training on March 1st and 2nd, as well as certification April 1st and 15th. I'm looking for new and techniques to improve my classes and engaging. I work hard with my department to use data from Savas and StarN to find my students learning and resources to improve these areas for all my students for state testing and education. I played an active role in helping out at basketball. I've helped with other things, prom, board painting, graduating, middle school. I attended IEP meetings when requested to and provide as much useful feedback as I can benefit my students. I'm helping out with academic decathlon on Saturday and Shaft trip on March 7th. I organized and am leading a trip over summer through World Strides to take my outdoor education students on guided trips and hikes to major national parks throughout Arizona, Colorado, and Utah. Students for constructing my class. I encourage them to be honest in all my classes to improve from semester to semester. I had a lot of suggestions after my first semester at Sims. I implemented many changes last spring semester, and the feedback that I received from my school year, and you have those as well. Many of them listen to their feedback. My own children to school and take an active role in it. They have developed friendships and enjoy the environment that are Sims for the rest of the time. As a parent, will not be an option if I am not at this school next year. My observation reviews. I'm sorry, I get nervous when I public speak. I don't know what.
You're doing.
Changes and improvement I implemented. Every much of the time with little to implement was desired. My first observation was for two as a result. This was confusing and frustrating, and you should continue doing it. Push and pull my best and being to change a different aspect of my teaching. Continued through each review. Colleagues became helpful observe me teach the same lesson for another class. They gave me but nothing. They said that was exactly what my principal was looking for. My review set up the school year. Provided no time for any feedback or help. In the school and before high level for the entire blessed opportunity to teach at this fine school. My department, students, and staff, and I want me to the call because I genuinely care about my students, and I work very hard to deliver my very best for all the stakeholders in their education. Thank you very much for your time.
Speaking, we appreciate that. Thank you. Well, at this time, we'll enter closed session. Can I see? Is that?
Kent, seconds.
10 seconds. Thank you. All in favor, say aye. All right. Yeah?
Testing, 1, 2, test, test, testing, testing. Testing, 1, 2, testing.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2, testing. Okay. Yeah, I mean.
sits at the top of her class with wow, a
You know what I'm talking
Pardon me? You could. As a board member, you just have to let me know, and I could make arrangements. I'll tell them you're a board member. I'm excited. Welcome, everyone. At this time, we will take a motion to enter open session because we didn't leave closed session.
So moved.
No, just that we're opening open session. So I heard you made the motion, Jose,
See.
and Rosie seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously. And we have something to read out from closed session.
Okay, in closed session, the Board of Education took action on payment approval to Radio Engineering Industries in the amount of $297,341.29 for the purchase and installation of school bus cameras. This purchase was previously approved by the Board of Education on September 15th, 2022. The district piggybacked on a PEPPM, and I'm not sure what that is, a contract to make this purchase, but was later told by the County of San Bernardino that that was not an allowable piggyback. So that's why we're approving the money basically for the same thing. And the vote was 5-0.
All right, at this time, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance, and there's two very kind students in the back, Sarah and Jade. Is that correct? Would you please lead us in the pledge, young ladies? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Nice job. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Rosie moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, Jose moved.
Yeah.
Rosie seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Barbara? You? Aye? Okay, passes unanimously. At this time, I'll hand it over to Mr. Coles for our student recognition
Great.
and teacher recognition.
So we have a student recognition today with Raina Franklin. She's a student at Adelanto, and she was recently accepted to go to with a full ride scholarship to go to Brown University. We're really proud of her. As you know, a program got started and is piloting at Heritage, and we're really seeing the benefit of it. We think it's going to continue to pay dividends, not only at Adelanto, but the expansion of it into all of our schools. That focuses on the A through G, for all for African American students. And A through G is really the ticket to get students into a UC and a Cal State system. Well, Raina went beyond that, and it's a tribute to her staff and the teachers who helped her, her counselors, the advisors, and so many more that said, you know what, Raina, what is your purpose and what do you want to do? And she said she wanted to go to Brown University. And so they raised money to send her there, to tour the campus, and ultimately she was accepted on a full ride scholarship to an Ivy League school, and we can't be more proud. Unfortunately, she's not able to be here tonight, but there was a great clip that was featured on, I think it was NBC or ABC. And so Mr. Riley's going to play that for us, and then we will be sure to be stopping by to honor her with the district's challenge coin and some other some items that really just recognize the efforts that she has. But also is a true testament of the staff and the hard work that's taking place at Adelanto and preparing all their students to live their purpose. So with that, Mr. Riley.
Sits at the top of her class with a whopping 4.7 GPA.
She is quick, though, to say that she didn't succeed all by herself. NBC4's Tony Shea explains. NBC4's Tim explains.
In just a matter of months, Raina Franklin will no longer be walking the halls of Adelanto High School. In the fall, she'll be heading to college.
People say you have a big brain.
It's decent.
With a 4.7 GPA, Raina is at the top of her class, so she's had many invitations to visit high-profile universities.
I really like Wellesley and Bernard, which are all-girls schools.
Raina also got an opportunity to take summer classes at Brown University, a prestigious Ivy League school in Rhode Island. but Raina's family couldn't afford it.
The plane ticket was really expensive. And I was like, I don't know if that's really worth it.
But Raina's guidance counselor knew it was worth it, so she started looking for ways to get her to Brown.
I thought about our Heritage program, and I asked if there were any funds available to support her.
At the time, the Heritage program, which helps guide students toward a college career, had not even started yet.
It had just been introduced by the Victor Valley Union High School District, so there were no funds.
It provides tutoring, mentoring.
Dr. Alika Jackson-Jarrell is the Heritage coordinator. She knew Raina's potential and was determined to raise the $1,500 needed to pay for the Brown visit.
I have a network on Facebook that will support any endeavor that I put out for our students because they love and support our students as well. So I put it on my Facebook page, and in a day we had raised money for her ticket and for her to have spending money while she was there.
Turns out the trip really was worth it. In December, Brown University offered Raina a 4-year scholarship.
Raina's just one of those examples of it is possible, no matter what your background is.
It helps to have a strong support system.
It takes a village, and I believe in that philosophy that it takes a village to help our students.
And Raina is grateful to be part of it.
It's nice to know that there's like people behind you and people who can help guide you, who, you know, are like invested in you as a person and not only like where you're going.
Okay, one more for me.
Tony Shin, NBC4 News.
CLE Educator of the Year.
So, as we kind of continue our focus on students, it also gives us an opportunity to focus on staff. And this year, we were honored to have 2 of our teachers become finalists for the California League of Educators. And they were finalists of less than 10 throughout the whole county. And so we couldn't be more proud of the opportunities that they were able to each and every day. So if I can have Mona Saad to come up here and Jeanette Gomez. Mona is a history and social science teacher at Hook Junior High School and one of the finalists. And Ms. Gomez is a special education teacher at Silverado High School. And they do a tremendous job, and it's just been phenomenal. And I know they have so many supporters out here for this. And so, as the superintendent, I'm honored to be able to present you with the district's challenge coin for the excellence that you do. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby. And we'll do, let's do 2 separate ones. Yeah. So
You're good.
Okay, Ms. Colby, I'll move. Okay. Okay, anybody else, family members want a picture?
Yes, she is. Okay, send it to.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sweetie. Good job.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you for your hard work.
Congratulations.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. That works.
There you go.
You see everybody? Okay, Mr. Barrios, just a little bit to your right. Okay. Fantastic. Smile, big smile. Okay, thanks a lot. Oh, you did.
Did you hand out coins?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your
Congratulations
service.
again.
Thank you for helping our students. We'll move to item 5.1, resolution to honor Black History Month.
So moved.
Jose has moved.
Second.
Kent has seconded. Carl, would you like to speak to this
Yep.
motion?
So in 1976, U.S. President Gerald Ford, he extended the recognition to honor the often too neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every endeavor throughout our history. Black History Month has been celebrated in the United States every February since. Prior, it was just celebrated for a week at a time. Black History Month was created to focus attention on the contributions of African Americans to the United States. It honors all Black people from all periods of U.S. history, from enslaved people first brought over from Africa in the early 17th century to African Americans living in the United States today. Among the most notable figures often spotlighted during Black History Month, Dr. Martin Luther King, who fought for equal rights. Thurgood Marshall became the first African American justice appointed to the Supreme Court. Ms. Jemison, who became the first female African American astronaut, and Barack Obama, who was elected the first African American president of the United States. So today, we ask that the board recognize February as Black History Month to not honor those before us and those currently continuing to fight for justice, but also that we have a deep understanding that much has been done, yet there's still so much work that continues to needed to fight the inequalities and the injustices that still exist. So we ask the board today to please pass the resolution in honoring Black History Month for the past, the present, and the future.
All right, can we take a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously, thank you. And resolution,
Before we move on, can I just say one thing, and this is not just for this one, but because of this, it enters my mind. We're already into February, and sometimes we could be all the way to the 7th before we'd actually be able to have this resolution. Is there any way that we could, and I'm not smart enough to figure it out, but like the time before that we could pass a resolution for the next month so that we've already got it in place? So that in January, we already know that in February, we've got it so we can honor, we know that it's there for the whole month instead of just part of the month?
We can.
Could we?
We've done that before.
Have we?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Just a suggestion.
We
so-
only had one board meeting, that's probably why.
Yeah, okay.
all right, and resolution 23-12, the National School Counseling Week.
So,
Shall I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, from Rosie and Jose. And would you speak to that motion?
yep. So National School Counseling Week is observed from February 6th to the 10th this year. It's always observed during the first full week in February. The 5-day week takes place every year to bring the public notice the priceless contributions of school counselors in the United States, sponsored by the American School Counselor Association. National School Counseling Week highlights the significant impact that our school counselors have in aiding students during their schooling years, such as assisting with college and scholarship applications, but also in assisting preparing them for their careers. We look forward to honoring our school counselors next week, which we will continue to do at all of our school sites.
Any discussion or comments? We certainly appreciate all that the counselors do. They're helping our students in many ways. All right, at this time, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public comments? We do have some. And student comments, so the guidelines for public comments, we've got that. Do we want to read do we want to do student comments first and the guidelines and public? Okay. So student comments, Valeria Guerrero and Kiara Esquero.
From what school?
And you're from UP.
Yeah.
You're at Jaguars.
Yeah, so good evening. My name is Kiara Esquero and this is Valeria Guerrero, and we are here to represent University Preparatory, and we would like to share with you some of our upcoming events.
Okay, so through February 6th to the 10th, we're going to be having a Spear Week. On February the 10th, we're going to have a multicultural rally. On February 11th, we're going to have a winter formal dance 6 to 10 p.m. Town Seat Steelhouse, Apple Valley. And on the 24th of February, I'm sorry, we're going to have Jean Day at dollar donations, and those donations go to the Class of 2025.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Victor Jorge and Kiara Henry from Hook.
Before we go into that, could we ask Chris to turn up the speaker? We can't hear the students.
This is Hook. Oh, the first one was UP. Good to see you. Oh, hi. Victor and Kiara. Kiara, I'm going to be right.
Okay. Hi guys, how you doing? Hey, hello again.
Hi.
Oops, that's okay. It's not my problem.
How are you doing, young man?
Victor's here?
Nice.
Good. Nice to meet you, Victor. And Kiara?
Did you go to Yeah. Ninth grade. Came from France.
It was a ninth grade campus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ninth grade.
Back
7th,
when-
8th, and 9th.
Back when I started,
Yeah.
Victor was only class of 12, yeah.
Yeah. That was considered junior high.
Good afternoon, Victor Valley Union High School board and staff members. We had plenty of events in the past few months, but we had our kindness project in December called 12 Days of Holiday Giving, where we had students donate items to be at a dress code. And with the items we collected them for the homeless shelters. We have recently packaged those items and are soon going to give them out to homeless shelters. We hope that this helps plenty of the people who are homeless.
On January 10th, we had our second semester expectations assembly for the lovely 7th graders on January 12th, and for the 8th graders on the 14th. It just went over all the rules and expectations we have for our students at Hook Junior High, and it also went over the qualifications for our 8th graders at the end of the year activities.
On January 12th, we had our Panda Express flyer fundraiser, which we made roughly $350 from. January 19th was our yearly spelling bee. Our second and first place winners for 7th grade were Justin Fan and Daniel Montes. And our second and first place winners for 8th grade were Jimmy Escobar and Jackson Allison. We did our tiebreakers for first and second place to see who was going to make it to the San Bernardino Spelling Bee. Our 7th grader Justin and our 8th grader Jackson won those places and will be going there soon.
Our Avid class went to UCLA and USC, where they had lots of fun exploring these two different campuses. We are preparing for our first semester honor roll, where our students will get a free shirt that they can wear any day throughout the week, just to be out of dress code if they have a 3.0 or higher.
Next week on February 10th is our Valentine's dance, which is going to be from 2:50 to 5 p.m. We hope to have a very exciting and fun dance for our students. We will begin selling tickets next week, and we hope to sell many of those tickets. On the same day, our 7th grade honors science class will be going to HDC, to the Water Innovators, for the science seminar. They will learn about the water shortage in Victorville and so much more.
For Valentine's Day, leadership is doing a random act of kindness by giving out Valentine's cards with names of these students. We'll do this a couple of days before the day of Valentine's, and the exact day, we will be passing them out in our first period advisories. We do this to the students and ask nothing in return, since throughout the year, we usually ask the students to come to our events, and now we're giving back to them. This helps them in many cases. In case they are going through a tough time at the moment, it usually brings their spirits up and makes them happier.
The 22nd of this month is going to be our family game night led by PBIS and our family engagement. There are board games provided for families to come and enjoy their time in our NPR. our science classes are going to the Long Beach Aquarium to explore the marine wildlife. We hope they have lots of fun.
Our leadership class will be attending an optional spring conference at Sitting Bull Middle School in Apple Valley. There will be guest speakers, workshops, and more for those students attending. It will be on the 25th. We are going to be showing our leadership pride. We are looking forward to what the rest of our third quarter and what our fourth quarter will have in store for us in 2023 and all of the events for our end of the year.
Thank you for your time and have not a stunning but a grand rest of your day.
Thank you, Wranglers. Next is Angelina Inabi from Lakeview Leadership Academy.
Good morning, board members and district staff. My name is Angelina Inabi, and I'm a senior that attends Lakeview Leadership Academy. On December 12th through the 16th was our Winter Spirit Week. ASB sent out a survey to the students to determine the spirit days, which were fuzzy socks versus flannel, Santa and his helpers, Winter Wonderland, Polar Express Day, and Ugly Sweater Day. We held our second blood drive of the year on December 14th in the NPR. On December 15th, Miss McQueen's class went on a field trip to a fish hatchery. On December 16th, our choir classes came around to classes and offices to Christmas Carol for the staff and students. On January 17th, we had our first club, sport, and group photo day for the yearbook. We also had our second and final day on February 2nd. On January 27th, we hosted our winter guitar concert. On February 6th through the 10th will be our Kindest Spirit Week, where we'll be having activities at lunch and having spirit dress-up days, including an activity where students will place where their families have come from on a map of the world in the library hallway to show how diverse our students are. February 8th will be our choir and band concert. On February 10th, we'll have our winter formal and winter sports rally. On February 11th, the class of 2024 will be hosting our first winter formal ever. ASB is also working on a community service project by making Valentine's Day cards and distributing them to patients at Desert Valley Hospital, St. Mary's Hospital, and Sterling Inn. ASB is also working on projects for Black History Month that will be displayed in the library hallway during the month of February. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of Lakeview Leadership Academy.
Thank you. Michael Huerta and Jacob Mendez from Adelanto, our two saints.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Huerta Gutierrez. I'm the Vice President at ASB.
Good evening. My name is Jacob Mendez, and I'm the Senior Class Vice President.
This past month, we have had many great and interesting events at Adelanto. To start off, wrestling had their senior night. Following another successful season, our seniors who were part of the wrestling team were celebrated for their achievements as a student athlete. Every senior who was commemorated was able to invite their family and friends to lead them to their very last match at home. We also had our winter pep rally. The winter pep rally that was held on the 13th of January was unlike any other pep rally held at Adelanto High School. To cohesively join the theme of Neon Night at Winterfest, every class was assigned neon colors to celebrate their presence on our campus. With a dimly lit arena, black lights brightened up the colors of the atmosphere along with glow sticks. We also had our second annual Silent Night game. Many individuals were in attendance, contributing to the ever-growing traditions our campus is beginning to pursue. At the game, we also commemorated our Winterfest court, where we recognized our Winter Court king and queen. At our Winterfest dance, the event went off beautifully and the atmosphere was vividly colorful scene. With bright tattoos to receive lit up swings to enjoy, and a photo booth to capture the night, our students enjoyed a beautiful night. We also had our senior night for our boys soccer team. After a season full of dedication and hard work, the seniors who were part of our boys team were celebrated for their commitment and devotion to our soccer program. These athletes were able to walk one final time onto their home field alongside their family and friends and receive recognition for their commitment on and off the field. On the same night as our soccer senior night, boys basketball also celebrated their senior night. We celebrated the students who were part of our boys basketball team. As people began to fill the stands, our students lined up to walk one final time onto their home court. Each athlete was able to walk alongside their family and friends to celebrate their final home game.
Recently we had our Powerpuff meeting, also known as the Saint Showdown, where our students who are juniors and seniors gathered together to receive information about the upcoming Powerpuff season. With an excellent turnout, we know that this Powerpuff season will be one for the books. We also had girls soccer senior night, where our girls soccer seniors stepped on the field one last time to play their final home game. It was a bittersweet moment for our students because it signified a chapter of their life coming to a close end. Lastly, we have WASC, which is coming to visit us next week, beginning Monday. Our campus as a whole has devoted itself towards accomplishing the grand mission of being accredited by WASC. Adelanto High School is more than ready to welcome WASC with open arms. Lastly, we have our upcoming blood drive. Adelanto High School will be hosting its final blood drive of the year. Our ASB students have been informing students all across campus about the benefits of donating their blood. These donations will be a vast contribution to aid the blood shortage that is occurring nationwide. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you. Hazel Dominguez from Victor Valley.
All right, Jack Rabbit.
Thank you so much.
Wish they could all go to the museum in Washington, D.C.
Good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Hazel Dominguez. I'm the Executive Vice President at Victor Valley High School. This semester started off with a bang, with new clubs forming, the winter sports season, and so many activities. Our PBIS program is recognizing both students and staff on campus, creating a positive community culture. Plus has been working hand in hand with PBIS to bridge the gap and change the culture here at Victor Valley High School. We meet monthly with PBIS and Mr. Casino to ensure our students are represented and heard. We hold monthly forums where a different group of 50 students is invited to participate in activities, take an anonymous survey that we use to direct us, and for data, we have small and large group discussions and then hold events to close the gaps between what's happening and what should be happening on our campus. This also allows students to meet other students and learn a little bit of their story, which builds a community within us. PBIS and Plus have a focus on building relationships on our campus, student to student, student to staff, and staff to staff. And currently are holding 2 lunchtime activities a month where we will build those connections, bring an element to the day, and see each in a new light. The mission of our BSU Black Student Union is to promote a positive representation of the Black community on and off campus, promoting student leadership, empowerment, as well as providing education opportunities and sources to many scholarships for our students. We plan on expanding BSU further within our campus, as we have gained a huge amount of recognition within our first few weeks. We also plan on sharing the history of the Black community on campus by sharing social media posts, flyers, and posters, and telling the stories of those who have never been heard. Our winter sports regular season is coming to an end, with multiple teams qualifying for CIF, including our soccer team, who has qualified for the first time since 2005. Our cheer team made the CIF Division IV Co-Ed Finals, and our amazing wrestling team took home its 13th DSL Championship, and we were runner-up in the CIF Division IV Finals just last night. We are so proud of everything this team has accomplished under Coach C.T. Campbell. We are in the middle of our winter formal week. On Tuesday, we held our first CTE lunchtime fair, where students got the opportunity to see what our CTE classes had to offer. Today was our neon pep rally, where we handed out over 4,000 glow sticks. We also held our first PBIS/plus lunchtime event, with staff and students facing off in games in the quad. This Saturday is our winter formal dance under the lanterns. It is a busy week, but well worth it. Heading into Black History Month, we will continue to work with the different groups on campus to promote our culture diversity that makes Victor Valley such a great place to be. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank you very much. Ariana Solis from Silverado.
Good evening. My name is Ariana Solis, and I'm here to speak on behalf of Silverado High School. I currently serve as Executive Board Secretary alongside Wendy. But before that, we were both Miss Edmondson's favorite students back in the day, yeah? Okay, so it's been a while since the last student rep was here, but I'd like to update you guys on some of the past events from January. So during January, we had a rebound rally. This was actually our first rebound rally, and it kind of focuses on winter sports, soccer, wrestling, basketball, and we introduced our court during this rally, and we had a really good turnout. There was a lot of people, and a lot more people went to their games, so that was good. Speaking of winter sports, both our girls and boys basketball teams are going to playoffs. Actually, our girls basketball team won DSL this year, so that's pretty good, yeah. So we also had Powder Puff, like 2 weeks ago, and we had a great attendance. Like, we filled the stands, and yeah, it was great participation, and it was really cool. We had all these vendors and stuff. So not only do students participate a lot in these events, but staff is always involved. Blood drives, which is coming up on Valentine's Day, so hopefully we pick up all the single people and they could donate some blood. We always, we always exceed our goals, so hopefully this one's just as successful, and we get a lot of participation from community, staff, and students, so it's really good. We also revived the community crew. So the goal is to make students feel welcome on campus, and staff members wait at the gates to welcome students in, and it creates a sense of community between staff and students. Our staff on campus received ALICE training to better, their readiness for any emergencies, and I was gonna congratulate Ms. Gomez for being a finalist. So yeah, and for BSU, they actually went to a college expo not too long ago, and next week, in honor of Black History Month, they're going to do a spirit week with a bunch of themes and fun activities. So yeah, that was it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ariana, I need to ask, how did the students respond to that ALICE training? Were they receptive to it?
Yeah, they were, not like an easy topic, but they felt that it was necessary.
I'm really impressed that you guys did that. Thank you, Heather, for doing that. It's unfortunately necessary, and it was wonderful to see you again. Hubert Huang from Sims.
That's true.
You're good.
Good evening, board members. Before I start out, I just got to say, I'll try my best to make this as quick as possible so everyone can go home in their pajamas and go to sleep. Hello, my name is Hubert Huang. So ASB hosted 2 winter rallies to support students' talents in winter sports. The rally showcased a fashion show, the band, and competitions between the sports and grade levels. Winter Formal was held on January 21st at San Bernardino Fairgrounds. This was the largest winter formal attended since Sims opened. The dance floor was packed all night, and the line for the photo booth was never ending. Senior nights were held for all winter sports. This year, Sims has 2 teams moving on to CIF playoffs, girls basketball and boys soccer.
Wow.
A tailgate was held to support the winter sports. Middle school volleyball is in full swing right now. Lastly, some upcoming events that we have is Academic competition on February 4th, middle school dance on February 16th, Valentine's Day gram sales from February 1st to February 10th, and we have Mr. Cougar and tailgate on February 24th. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Hubert. Barbara's giving you special recognition. Good job. Carl, would you read us the guidelines for public comments, please?
If you wish to address the board on any topic, including any item on the agenda, please submit your comments to the board president by completing a request to address the board card prior to the meeting and submitting it to the assistant to the superintendent. The president will recognize those who desire to speak either during public comment section of the agenda or before a particular agenda item. Each speaker should move quickly to the microphone and announce your name before beginning your presentations. Meetings are taped for later transcription. Each speaker is allocated a maximum of 3 minutes. The president may choose to limit each topic to 10, no more than 20 minutes, if substantial number of people wish to address the board on one topic. Testimony should be brief and to the point. Speakers should not repeat testimony already presented. Board action may not legally be taken on any item not specifically listed on the agenda. The board may ask that such items be placed on the next agenda for consideration. Testimony is not protected from damage claims or for slander. Public charges or allegations may result in a legal action being brought by those individuals. The board values constructive community comments and suggestions, and it welcomes your participation in the democratic process.
All right. Our first speaker, Brian Gillespie. Welcome.
Good evening, Superintendent Coles, board members, and executive cabinet. Tonight, I really just want to come and say thank you. Dr. Yee, Ms. Milton, for coming on Monday, and we had an incredible visit, I thought. Some of your comments I was able to share with my staff. I literally spent the rest of the day just going to my staff and thanking them for all the hard work that they did, and it was really uplifting to have you there. Mr. Coles and Mr. Crosby, thank you for coming out on Wednesday and observing our site. It was really appreciated. Ms. Edmondson, I know that you came out a little while ago and went to, visited our Victorville 3 site at night school, so thank you for coming out. I appreciate that you take the time to do that. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Williford for the collaboration that we have. It amazes me at how hard you work to support the students in this district, even when they come to our school, the amount of collaboration that we have and how focused you are on what is best for students. I talked to a lot of other charter school principals. This is my 22nd year. This level of collaboration, the amount of support and guidance that I get from this district is unique. It's not something that you see everywhere, and I really think it's a testament to what we can do when we simply put what's best for students first. And I just thank you for all the support and everything you guys give us. It really is appreciated. Thank you.
Brian, will we have reports from your students soon? Will your students be able to come and give us reports as well? Yeah. That would be lovely. Thank you. And Risa Barrias.
Good evening, trustees, board president Edmiston, Superintendent Cole. My name is Risa Barrias, and I'm the senior field representative for Assemblymember Juan Carrillo, representing Assembly District 39. As a former school board member himself, public education is a priority for Assemblymember Juan Carrillo, and we're proud to share that he's been appointed to the Assembly Education Committee. as well as the Military and Veterans, Transportation, and Rules Committees. As your senior field representative, I look forward to serving you and the community with service support for state agencies and joining in recognizing the Victor Valley's incredible students, teachers, and staff. On the behalf of Assemblymember Juan Carrillo, I thank you for your service to our kids and community and your time. And I'm going to leave a stack of business cards for each of you in case you need to get in touch with our office. Thank you again.
Risa, thank you, and thank you for your service to our community. I appreciate that.
I heard him speak on Monday when we had the school board thing.
Item 8.1, we'll approve the consent agenda items, which includes everything from 8.1 to 8.
Thank you.
What about 7?
You still have
Oh, I'm sorry,
the
the
reports.
association reports, I'm sorry. VBTA, Mike or Jennifer?
Okay, good evening, board, members, and cabinet. My name is Jennifer Lovelace, and I'm the VVTA First Vice President. Mike Mayo is not attending tonight because he has a virtual meeting discussing community schools. Just yesterday, he attended a community school tour in Anaheim, where he had the opportunity to observe a nationally acknowledged community school steering committee, speak with students, parents, city and other community members, classified and certificated association representatives, and district officials. The two most important concepts he learned is continuing the focus on education and advocating for a shared leadership model. VVTA's executive board happily accepts VVUHSD's executive board's invitation to join them on March 8th in discussing our collaboration moving forward in the district. We hope to have open discussions about our district and how we can better serve our students and the community. A thank you to Dr. Yee for opening up access to some of our members to attend the CTA Equity and Human Rights Conference taking place on March 17th through the 19th. The Good Teaching Conference is also coming up next month as well. Negotiations. VVTA has heard generally good news regarding negotiations with the district. We appreciate the district coming to our team with real offers. We hope you see the same coming from our side of the table. Hiring practices. VVTA firmly believes that we will need many positions filled next year, and there are many things that we have to offer at this district as we begin to shift the culture of VVUHSD. We cannot hesitate in posting positions we know we will need to fill to those spaces, making us prepared to better educate the students coming to us. Thank you to Dr. Coles and other administrators with whom I, Mike, have discussed issues. Mike hopes that the board and the cabinet take heart to some of the comments made prior to the closed session meeting tonight. And that's it. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Jen. Tanya, welcome back. Our CSEA report.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, and cabinet. I'm pleased to be able to be here this evening, although I've not returned to my position. Let's see here. CSEA is pleased with the changes that we are seeing on the top. We recently met with the district for the negotiations team, and the progress that is being made is refreshing. Sadly, we continue to have issues with some of the management team. Our members are dealing with the managers on personal agendas and passive practice rather than management following what is written in our contract. My union stewards have been busier than ever with member representations, and that is never a good thing. Although I'm not here, I'm still working very closely with my leadership team, and I talk to them almost every day. On a sad note, CSEA lost one of our campus security officers on January 19, 2023. We would like to send our sincere condolences to the Irving family, and the mother of the campus security officer worked here. So we just would like you guys to send your thoughts and prayers to that family. CSEA is committed CSDA is committed to transparency and consistency to continue to work together to get to the yes. Thank you guys and have a good evening.
Thank you, Tanya. Our consent items, 8.1 through 8.27. I'll entertain a motion
Move to approve.
from Rosie,
Second.
second from Jose. Discussion? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Action items, 9.1, certificated personnel report. Barbara and Jose, thank you. Discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
9.2, classified personnel report.
So moved.
Second.
Kent and Barbara. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 9.3, contract Vector USA.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Rosie and Jose. Shanti, would you speak to this motion?
Yes. So this is a contract with Vector for New Middle School 3. The contract is to replace existing copper wiring. The copper wiring is 20-plus years old. It's Category 5 data wiring, and so it cannot sustain the new technologies that we have in place today. We can't use E-rate funding for this project at this time since New Middle School 3 is not technically an open school. So we are proposing that we use our deferred maintenance fund, which is Fund 14, to fund this project.
And do we think they may be able to pay us retroactively when it becomes a real school?
Well, no, unfortunately, no. It has to be an open rural school with a CDS code in order for us to use E-rate funding. So next year, we'll be able to add that school to our E-rate funding.
Nice try. Yeah.
Any other discussion items? And when do you get to vote on this one? Okay, all in favor? Say aye.
We are taking donations in the round of $162,809.
Let's pass the hat.
I forgot my checkbook.
I can pay you in Girl Scout cookies. Item 9.4, contract amendment with the City of Victorville regarding our new SRO.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Rosie and Jose. And Ramoni, can you speak to this motion?
Absolutely. We're excited to bring forth a contract with the City of Victorville so that our Lakeview campus can have its own SRO for the remainder of the school year at $104,000. At the end, we'll kind of reevaluate and kind of see where we go from there. But again, this is for the safety of our students, our families, our community, and our staff. So thank you for your consideration.
Discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
9.5, Vector USA.
So moved.
Kent and Jose, thank you. Shanti, would you speak to this motion?
Yes, this is also a contract with Vector USA to modernize the paging in the bell system at New Middle School number 3. Technology Services has been in there, and upon reviewing the conditions of the bell system, we realized that it has been severely vandalized. And so it is cheaper for us to go ahead and modernize and upgrade to an IP system rather than to try and to repair our old analog system. So this will also be funded by our deferred maintenance fund, a little bit over $98,000.
So it'll probably work better in the PA systems in the rest of the district.
Any
I
questions?
hear about that all the time.
All right, call for vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. 10.1, student readmissions. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Jose and Rosie. I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 10.2, expulsions.
Before you move on to this one, I just think this is something just to kind of highlight, in the board and the work attributed to the school sites is, and unfortunately part of the work that does is we have to expel students from time to time, especially if it's mandatory in the law and even despite interventions. But we just voted on this bringing back 7 students. And so, them going back and getting some of the work and putting some of the work in to be able to say, you've met your conditions. We are a place of second chances and just the opportunity that says, take kind of action and proactive steps, but it just still lends itself to an opportunity that says, you know what, we had second chances. You can come back and we're ready and we're welcoming you as students. And I just think that that's just notable. That says, you know, we have 7 students that we're bringing back. So.
Well, I agree. If they did what they were signed on the contract they were gonna do, then they should be able to come
You bet.
back. Totally fair.
Shows their desire and hard work to be part of our school. Item 10.2, expulsions.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Jose and Rosie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to the information and discussion items, we have conference reports, field trip information, the Williams UCP, and board policy revision for first reading. Any discussion on those items? Okay. Staff reports, business services, Shanti.
Thank you. On January 19th, several staff members from the Business Services Office, as well as our association presidents, attended the School Services 22-23 Governor's Budget Workshop in Long Beach, California. So just some quick news that we want to bring to you from that workshop. So although the state is projecting a $29.5 billion budget deficit for the 3-year period ending 23-24, we do want to report that our Prop 98 funding is still expected to be funded at about $109 billion statewide. That is a reduction of about $1.5 billion, but the governor is proposing to fund that shortfall through deferred payments and even some possible one-time cuts. He's proposing to possibly cut $1.2 billion from the arts, music, and instructional materials discretionary block grant. Although we'd hate to see that cut, we do need to keep in mind that Prop 28 did pass this past November, so we will get that funding on top of Prop 98 funding in the coming year. COLA currently is being estimated at about 8.13%. We are certain, I just went to a CBO meeting this past Friday, and we're pretty certain that COLA will in fact come in, somewhere above 8%, maybe even as high as 8.5%. The governor's current proposal fully funds COLA. As far as expenses, our CalSTRS employer contribution rate and some of those rates will remain the same. One thing we're keeping an eye on is minimum wage. That's expected to increase through 2028. And so budget development for 23-24 will begin in the Business Services Office. In fact, this coming month. Our staff is attending a training, in fact, tomorrow about some of the budget development procedures. And just quickly, the district-wide physical inventory that you guys approved at the last budget meeting, board meeting, will begin next week. And so all of our sites will be visited within the next week. And then all of our business services department, we're all currently on track with the planning and the work to open middle school number 3. We don't see any barriers at this point. And then lastly, from Health Services, we just want to report that we had a CDHP public immunization clinic just yesterday at Silverado High School, and we have several more immunization clinics coming up through May. And so those communications will be sent out to all parents via Parent Square, and we'll also send out other district-wide notifications encouraging parents to bring in children who need immunizations. We will also share flyers with Adelanto Elementary and Victor Elementary School districts.
And we'll be using our medical van for those. Did I hear correctly?
Yes, we're actually going to be contracting. You'll see it on the next board meeting with Desert Valley Hospital. They'll be doing some of our clinics, and yes, they will be using the medical van.
All right, terrific.
And Madam President, if I could just
She
say
knew I
real
was
quick.
gonna ask for that.
Shanta, I just
Thank
want
you,
to
Vinnie.
thank you. I've been in this district since 1980, and very, very seldom have we ever had anybody who was as competent and as open as you've been. So I want to thank you for that, because older I get, the more difficult numbers get, I guess, in some ways. But you make things very clear, very exact, and I really do appreciate that, and I want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Ed Services, Ramoni?
All right, good evening, everyone. I actually placed a few flyers on your desk, and they are actually our new brochures for our different CTE pathways. I didn't print all of them for you, so I just gave you some samplings. Our CTA program continues to expand, and I think it is the envy of a lot of districts in the high desert. And I want to thank the board this evening. I think we brought probably 7 different purchases through CTE funds for you to approve. So thank you so much for approving those, because they absolutely enhance and add to the value of the programs that we offer here for our students. So thank you for that. So enjoy those brochures. Special thank you to Dr. Collins, our CTE director, and also for our coordinator of CTE, Dr. Williams, who have been really working hard on our CTE program. So thank you for that. Also, too, just a couple of happenings here in Ed Services. We've just been supporting sites. Our CNI team have been out, and whatever principals and staff say that they need. So I think yesterday we were at Silverado doing a staff meeting on structured collaboration. Really, it is about supporting our sites, and we're happy to do that. So I want to thank Heather and the principals also, always reaching out to us whenever they need anything. And then just a couple of congratulations to those who were recipients of awards this evening, especially to our student Adelanto. What a great accomplishment. Those are, and we have a lot of those bright stars. So hopefully we'll even recognize more. And then our 2 teachers, I think Mona Saad actually even had her students come here this evening so that they wanted to celebrate her as well too. So, and then lastly, just Black History Month. I always believe that when we celebrate diversity and different cultures and history and the value that they add to our community, it should be all year long. So hopefully we won't need a monthly thing, but really just an all year thing. And then my condolences also to the family that, that are suffering right now for one of our loss of our own family here. So we'll keep her and her family in our thoughts and prayers.
Thank you. Carl, HR?
Nothing to report, but with middle school 3, on the horizon, tomorrow we're going to fly the principal position, get that going, and we're analyzing all of the teaching positions that would be out there to bring forward so that we can start the recruitment process this month. We know absolutely we're going to need teachers and classified staff to fill these positions, and so no better time to get a jump on before everybody else does than now, and so that we can start the recruitment process and fill some of the easier position to fill, because there's still some very difficult positions to fill out there, and it gives us more time to do that. And so moving forward with it, and so we look forward to turning a facility, brick and mortar, into a live campus with kids and staff in it in really just a short period of time.
So you're gonna let us know when you do the naming committee?
Yeah, so the next step is we're gonna bring forward in the March, there's a board policy in there that kind of stipulates an outline of all of the process for the naming committee and other things. We're just waiting on the CDS code, and then once we get all that stuff, we'll bring forward
So
this
you're
to
waiting on the code right
yeah.
now? Yeah.
And so then we'll bring together the committee, and it'll be made up of students and community members and board members, and others, and the naming of the school is really important, and mascot, and I hope we don't change the colors, because we got colors already, or they're expensively put in, but all of those things are on the table. So, but we look forward to that, because that really is kind of enrolls the community into what will be a staple for that community as middle school number 3. So right now we call it middle school number 3. Eventually, next few months we'll have a name.
And maybe the mascot, we can have the students.
Yeah, and all
be
of
a
that
part of
gets
that.
decided on the committee and all of that stuff. But it really is not a decision to be made in isolation. It's a decision with the unions and others and board members, and it should be a really nice process. I'm looking forward to it.
Fun.
Because no matter what name you come up with, not everyone's going to be happy.
Everyone is working so hard on middle school number 3, but Brett, I know you've gone above and beyond so many times for many other things, but even for this, thank you very much for all your hard work getting up to shape. Thank you. Barbara, can you share legislation?
Right now, the only thing we're waiting, One of the things that we are waiting for is everybody to be seated and sworn in. So, Juan Cabrillo, the one she's just talking about, has been sworn in, and he's on the Education Committee. And it looks like everyone that is here, Obanothi, Wilk, Juan, who's in the 39th, Tom Lackey, who's taken the position of Smitty, are all on an education committee. I just can't believe it. I think everybody is on education, whether in the Assembly or the Senate in the state and then Congress. So that's a good thing for us. The senator, the female senator, is the one that I think I mentioned it to you, Carl, how she talked about some issues she's came up with. One of the things is she visited a prison, and out there in the prison sat these kids that could have been in school, because she was on a school board herself. And those kids, she looked at them and she finally said to them, "Why are you here? Why are you in prison? You should be out someplace doing something constructive within society." First thing the kids said, most of them said they had a dysfunctional family, and their family was not copacetic. So they had a hard time in living within their home. The other problem that they mentioned, second, was education. We didn't learn how to read. The average reading in those prisons is 3.1 or 3.5 or something like that. 3 years, third grade and a half. That's it. So the second thing they mentioned was education. So it she was sitting there talking to all of us board members, and we all went, wow. So one of the things that we have come up with this year is working on helping kids learn how to read, or making sure the kids come up to the level that they should be, instead of coming to our school in 7th grade at a 3-point or a 2-point grade level. So that's one of the issues that we're going to be working with all of the people that are legislators that have been chosen. There's a lot of new people up there, so we're going to find out how much and what they will be interested in. One of the other things that I'm going to introduce is to make sure that we have something that deals with finance for kids. A lot of kids don't even know how to write a check, much less know what a bank is. So we would like to have something in finance. So that is one of the areas that we're going to be pushing some of our legislation as well. We will be having the 8-point. We're going to ensure that we get that. So we're going to try to cut him in taking our money out of arts and crafts. So those are things that we're going to be working on as well. And I will be flying up next month on the 17th, and then talking to them about the legislation that we're going to be pushing. Oh, and on that day, on the other day, we had what was the Golden Bell, and that was really good too.
Along with what you mentioned, Carlos, I just noticed in that CTE brochure about Hook doing the personal finance. So that goes hand in hand with that training.
Well, we're trying to make that a part of the American culture, American curriculum. We want to make that like an AG type thing, where kids graduate knowing, especially in America, what we are doing in finance, because it's hard pressed for them to get out there in a college and not know how to write a check, not know what the bank is, don't know what debt is, and things like that. So it's something that we're going to be pushing, definitely for American children. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just do those. Peg.
Yeah.
How to buy a house.
Board member comments. We'll start with Jose.
Okay, well, first thing, Annie Munn was mentioned. For those of you that are, well, could have voted for the first Bush. And she was our teacher, new teacher coordinator, whatever you want to call it, but she was a saint. She saved more new teachers with her help and advice and things like that, that she really, she was very valuable and she's very, very well missed. And this was a long time ago, guys, so bear with it. And I wanted to send my prayers and best wishes to Soren Storch and Rachel and his family, since he's recovering from a stroke, heart attack, whatever. So, but Pity got a text that said things are doing a little better, so that's really good to hear. Okay, also congratulations to the teachers that were recognized, and our young lady from Adelanto who's attending Brown. We talked about her last meeting, and we talked about this meeting, and she deserves all the good things we could say. And lastly, attended the Chamber of Commerce yesterday. Myself, Barbara, Mr. Coles, and our CTE coordinators. All right, and our district was well represented. I think our stuff was better than theirs, but that's okay. I'm kind of biased that way. But it's amazing to see all the things that we're doing, and every time we turn around, there's some new deal. Next thing we know, we'll have the semi truck like VVC did out there, where they have a truck driver academy.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have some other academy smaller than that. But anyway, the CT program's doing great. Everybody else is doing great, and we're going the right direction. So hopefully we just all keep it up and all keep working together.
Thank you. Kent.
Okay, first of all, our hearts do go out to all those who have suffered loss of loved ones and everything. And I also got a text from Rachel, and she says, keep her husband in the prayers. So for all of them, we will continue to do so, and we know how difficult that is. To all the student reports, thank you so much for your wonderful reports. They're excellent, they're informative, they're lively. We appreciate that, and so thank you so much for that. We do definitely appreciate that. I am beginning to sense, like I said, I've been in the district since not quite as long as Jose. Jose's been in district since I think 78 or 79.
Thanks, Sonny.
Okay. I'm just the jovencito. He's the old man. But anyhow, but I'm beginning to sense a positive change in the district, and I'm glad to see that. And even though I'm no longer involved in union negotiations, I'm still very happy to see that and to see that come up. A couple things that I'd like to, just one thing to point out, what makes a huge difference to me, and we've talked about it a lot in closed session and all, and that is, you heard him say, we're starting recruiting this month. We're not starting recruiting in October, like has been so common in this district, but we understand that we need to start recruiting now to get the very best for the students in this district, and that alone would make all the difference. So thank you, Superintendent Coles, for that. A couple other things. One, Barbara's mentioning on the financing. For those of you who don't know, you can Google it, what a check is. My son has no idea what a check is. Never used one, never will. It's not something that's current, but it is interesting, and it's a good piece of archaic history if you want to go back and look at.
But even if they did it online, they've got to know what they're doing.
Okay. But I'm going to pick on Barbara a little bit here, too, because she used the 1970s word. She said copacetic, and I haven't heard that word, so I'd like to thank her for that. It made me feel so good, so thank you so much for using that word. And then I'd like to ask those who are remaining tonight, because we're going to pick on Barbara, if you would join me singing happy birthday to her, because she has a birthday coming up. So, and I have a terrible voice, and if you don't sing, you're going to hear my voice. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Barbara. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And that's all I have, Penny. Thank you.
Well, now I'm 185.
Barbara, it's your turn.
It is?
Yeah.
I think my husband is going to surprise me with the birthday thing this year. Because it's like they're talking around me. You know, my son and him are talking around me. So whenever they do that, it's something they're going to do. Perhaps I'll go to the border and gamble.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Wait, where do you border? Which border do you gamble at? I'm interested. I want to go.
No, it's just this border right here.
San
Las
Bernardino
Vegas.
Riverside.
Las Vegas.
Okay.
Las Vegas.
Okay.
I'm not going down there.
Yeah, I like both of them.
I like all of them, all the borders. What I was going to say is I welcome the kids. Of course, I like seeing the kids because that's my big deal, is to make sure that they are happy and content, and they're going to make it out of this Victor Valley Union High School district, you know, like I did. And my heart goes with all the people that are having so many problems, you know, whether it's a death or people with their family members in the hospital, because it's not good, and we're all family, so my heart goes out to those people, and hopefully everything will get much, much better. I don't know what has happened with January, but it has been moving very fast for me.
It'd be gone.
It's gone.
We are, every time someone mentions money or what legislation, it's like clicking with us. So we want to make sure that they don't forget about education. One of the things is we're getting a little bit of pushback in Sacramento on education, because they say, well, we always give money and stuff to you guys, and look how much money you've already gotten with COVID. This and that. You got the ESSER this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're going on and on. But the other groups, nurses, you know, other groups out there are saying, well, it can't be all school, but we still are going to push for as much as we can to keep things up front for education. And they always say, well, you got that Prop 98 and you've got all the rest of the things that we've given away, but we're going to continue to work on as much as we can in getting all the grants and everything we can toward education to ensure that all of us are doing very well. We are going to be pushing reading throughout the state of California with all 1,000 districts. It's only a few districts where reading is where it should be. The rest of the districts are having a problem. Some of it has to do with COVID, but then some of it has to do with us kind of being lackadaisical or a little lazy in what we do. And there's such a change of teachers now. 100,000 teachers. Baby boomers are retiring like crazy. Not only them, superintendents. Everybody that works in education is pulling out. Not pulling out, but they're retiring. And so we got a new crop of people that's coming on board. We've got to really be mindful of all the new people and help them as much as we possibly can. We can't just hire them and not help them. So that's one of the things that we've got to do a great deal of. We did meet with the new people online with our High Desert group. And I did see your guy. He came on board, and he's very much involved, and that's a good thing. I've already checked him out to see who he was. We did have our chamber meeting yesterday. I introduced Carl to all the chamber people there so that they know that we have a new person now, because Ron did so much in breaking open the doors and doing so much work that went ahead, and he's still doing work for our High Desert, actually, even with the League of Schools and everything else. The other thing is the student that didn't come tonight, Ms. Franklin, very positive, very, very, very positive. Hopefully, she will one day come before we completely move out, you know, for this year. She, and I want to congratulate the teachers that were here. Nobody's here, is there? No, okay. Well, I want to congratulate all the teachers that were here that got all the awards. It's very commendable when you see Victor Valley Union High School District within our state. For years now, it has been part of the state programs. They always look to us. They look to us to try out something new. So Mr. Cole is I told him he's better be prepared to accept a lot of things. They will come our way for us to test it out. So we will get the $1 million or the $2 million added to our income. So that's one of the things that we're going to be doing and implementing. And I do want to be on the naming of the naming committee of that school. Mainly because there's schools that, like we don't have right now, I'd like to bring those forward, some of those names. And I was asked that, by the way, from community people. And happy Black History Month. It's very important. I noticed when she was talking about it today, I went, wow. I think about my grandmother who never got to learn how to read or write. And they came out of slavery. I mean, still in the 1800s, it was slavery. And they picked cotton. They were cotton pickers for sharecropping. And whenever you mention Black history, it's actually American history. Because if they hadn't cleared the land, there'd be nobody sitting in this room even and calling themselves Americans. And when we talk about cleared the land, believe it or not, they were all trees and everything. They were not only sold for money, but they cleared the land and raised the crop so that people could make money in this country and in Europe. You need to go back and see the Smithsonian, Black Smithsonian. If you ever get a chance, go there and check it out. It's really set up very, very well for historical value. I'm trying to get them to put it out here in California so kids can experience that and know where they came from and what they've done for the country in order for it to be here. I get really sad about that because of my grandparents, both sides. Okay.
Thank you for sharing. Rosie?
Thanks, Penny. Barb, yeah, I feel your pain.
Oh, I know.
It's kind of hard to follow. Anyway, I also would like to send out my thoughts and prayers to our family members that have suffered a loss or are going through health problems. I want to thank everybody for attending tonight, especially our students. It's always good to hear from you. It's always good to know what's going on in the schools. And we really appreciate you coming, and especially those that stick around until the board meeting is over. Thank you for coming. I also would like to congratulate Ms. Franklin on her full ride scholarship. I want to wish her all the best. She gets set to start this new chapter in her life after graduation. I want to congratulate our teachers, Mona Sad and Jeanette Gomez, on their nomination and wish them good luck. I want to thank our principal, Brian Gillespie, for his invitation to attend the Options for Youth graduation on January 13th. It was a very inspirational evening. The students were just super. The two students that spoke I mean, it just grabbed at your heart. And thank you for the job you guys are doing over there. On January 30th, I attended the San Bernardino County School Boards Association annual meeting. The highlight of the evening was the Golden Bell Awards. And again, congratulations to my alma mater, Victor Valley High School, in winning this prestigious award for their family engagement program. I'd like to thank Mara Balmaceda. She's the coordinator of our English learner programs, for inviting me to attend their district English Learner Advisory Committee meeting last night. It was interesting to note that although there was only 8 of us there at that meeting, there was 57 attendees via Zoom. So it shows that the interest is there. The parents want to get involved. Dr. Rebecca Cook provided a great presentation on our local control accountability plan. And Advisory Committee President Maria Neri, she did an excellent translation to its members. And I really appreciated the opportunity to learn more about this program, as well as its benefits to our students and parents. So thank you all for being here tonight. Appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your month.
Thank you, Rosie. Wendy, will you give our student board member comments? I'm sorry, Barbara?
No, I was just gonna say I was on that Zoom. I was on that Zoom.
She was able to attend that
I was
Zoom
on
meeting.
that Zoom too, but I didn't say anything.
I'd just like to say congratulations to Raina again. It's so impressive to see like kids from our district going far in life. And also I love hearing the ASB comments, and thank you guys for coming. You know, most of us that are in ASB know that ASB is about sacrificing our time after school and before school, not sometimes on the weekends. Well, mostly, yeah. And I'd also like to believe that ASB is an on-campus extension of the board, so we are just as interested in making our campus a better place for the students. So, and also, I'm so excited for the middle school that's opening up. And I'm excited, and thank you to the board members for putting passion into this project. It's really nice to see this happening, but I'm also thankful that me and Ari are going to be gone by the time so we'll miss the traffic of that middle school. It's right across Silverado. So thankful for that. But also, like Mr. Crosby said, I do also sense a change. And as a senior, some people would think that we'd be upset, you know, that all of this change is coming as we're leaving, but I'm happy. I'm more than happy because I know that these freshmen, juniors, and sophomores will be able to enjoy these new changes. And also, I can't wait to celebrate Black History Month, not only this month, but every single month, because they're also our founders of past, present, and future America. And as always, it's an honor and privilege to serve as a student board representative. And thank you.
Thank you. I'll keep mine sweet, as Mr. Huang suggested. Thank you. We don't want to keep our students up too late, so thank you for suggesting. We're going to keep it short and sweet. My heart goes out to all of our families that are suffering and feeling hard times right now. We have several, and Tanya, thank you for remembering our employee. We appreciate that, and so many are suffering right now, and I'm sure everyone has people who are in their family or close circle of friends that are having a hard time. So keep them in your thoughts. Barbara, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Raina, of course, she deserves to be applauded and recognized, but I also want to recognize we have 4 teachers from her school in our presence, and I want to personally thank you because you have touched Raina, who's going to touch the world now. So thank you. We owe you a gratitude. thank you all those who stayed here, and thank you students for speaking. I love to see you when you grow up, and I'm going to love to see you come back and check out our new middle school and get to give your input. I can't wait to see you at graduation. And if Raina's not able to come here, we are coming to her at her graduation, and we'll probably all fight to hand her diploma. So we will definitely get to see her then. And thank you, Carl, for leading us and leading our district in such positive changes. I appreciate it. There is a noticeable change, and it's so refreshing, welcoming, and inspiring. Thank you so much. So thank you all for being here. I will turn this over to Carl for your comments.
Barbara, your stories talking about, Black History Month is really American History Month. It's touching. And you talked about the literacy part, and your grandparents couldn't read, and it's what gets us up every single morning to keep fighting for the injustices, in this community. And it's one of the driving factors. I know that's got the excitement around the district about the middle school and the focus on literacy. We don't get to get the kids when they're 5. We get them at 7th grade.
Yeah.
And
ninth.
And ninth, right? And we're not going to give up. We're going to continue to focus on literacy. We're going to continue to do everything that we can so that every single student has an opportunity, despite any deficits that they may have had. So thank you for that story. There's a lot of good things happening in the district. Community schools on the horizon, middle schools on the horizon, literacy plans on the horizon. We're working with the Victor Valley College right now about increasing dual enrollment. A little bit about negotiations and the work we're doing for students and staff, and more to come on this. And I'm proud to work alongside and learn from so many others. We had the opportunity on Monday to go and celebrate the Golden Bell, being honored with the county. One more recognition that we received in San Diego, but just a local celebration for the work that, took place, back in 2016, the vision that this district had about the engagement with families. It's phenomenal. Dr. Collins, Dr. Williams, thank you for the work that you did in preparing for the chamber and representing us really well in all of our CTE programs. Heart goes out to Ms. Irvin, Mr. Storch, and many others out there, who continue to face a lot of adversity and just challenges, and our hearts are with them. Our hearts and prayers and thoughts are with all of them. And on top of that, we have 2 birthdays in February, Miss Edmiston and Mrs. Dew. Mrs. Dew's on Sunday, Miss Edmiston is on Tuesday. And so just as a token of appreciation and just to say happy birthday, Executive Cabinet got you guys.
I did not know that. I'm sorry. Okay, while he's presenting, let's sing happy birthday to Penny then, can you?
Yeah, we need to.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Penny. Happy birthday to you. And I apologize, I did not know that.
Oh, no problem.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, well.
Wow.
We are closer together.
I think last year, Lisa and I brought you flowers last year for your birthday.
Your better half.
Yeah, well, she remembers things like that, okay.
Well, she believes in everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do we have a need to go back into closed session?
We do not.
All right. At this time, I will entertain a motion
So
to
moved.
adjourn.
Second.
So Rosie and Jose, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody who came. Have a safe drive home.
Well, thank you for your coming again. Appreciate that.